Hello, hi. This is Muntoh, and today we're going to talk about Aged Care Business 101 Day 3. Now, for the last 2 days, I've been talking about the first one is the first day was location. The second day was we're talking about the sensory perception and impression for the client, which is we are talking about SOP, standard operating procedures, and translating down to the working ground. Now, today I'm going to talk about a very important, which is here at the bottom, well-being of staff and residents. Now, this one is a very important. It's also part of the sensory and visual perception and impression. So this one is also a part of the SOP, which is translated down. But as you know, in this program, I do not target the medical professionals because they are trained and already know what to do. And of course, they have more information than me, but they're very technical. And my job is to here in this program, Aged Care Business 101, it is about making aged care understandable, accessible by non-medical professionals, okay, who has a love for aged care and who may want to explore aged care. So this is why I started this workshop. So in other words, one my expertise will be in the area of turning a non-medical professional to come into the aged care business and giving them the tools to learn, to grow, and to manage this and start a business. So that is my expertise. So today I'm going to talk about the well-being of staff and residents. And you notice I start with staff and followed by residents, and not the other way around. So here is the first tip, very important. Write it down. The most important asset in your organization and most important thing is not residents. They are your staff. Okay, you solve that one mystery. You manage them well. The rest, as they call, is history. Okay, so staff well-being is the number one. Now, what do you mean staff well-being? You mean provide uniform, pay salary? Isn't that enough? Give them EPF, a career, a job near their house. Isn't that enough? No. Okay, those are basics. Okay, those are basics. It's a given. The reason they are there is because they want to make money. Now, the reason they perform is a totally different animal altogether. It has nothing to do, well, very little. It has something to do with money, of course. Very little to do with money. Okay, it has, but very little. It has something very intrinsic inside them. But yet, although it's inside them, it is within the grasp of the businessmen or the operators to do this part, to set a place for them to perform, to work in such a way that they will look after the well-being of the residents. So this is something secret. Everybody knows, but don't know where to start. Okay, everybody know staff is important. Everybody knows staff don't stay with you for long. Everybody knows staff can give a lot of problem. But as an entrepreneur, it is where you find the touch points to create an environment for them to perform. So today I'm going to talk about this particular area and of course the well-being. I will talk about one, two, three, four. Okay, a second. I have three items here I want to share with you, and I believe in 20 minutes is more than enough for me to share you the salient point. I don't want to waste your time because uh, you don't need to. It can be actually very simple. Of course, the layers are difficult. Now, I'm going to start off with this. If you want your well-being of your residents being taken care of, take care of the well-being of your staff. Besides the food and all those things, now this is what you need. Create an environment for well-being. Okay, in other words, you must create an environment for your staff to excel, to perform, to have no fear of error. Now, people say we have SOPs. We want to minimize errors. We want people to stop people from falling. We want everybody to be happy all the time. You know what? We don't want accidents. Nonsense. Okay. Okay. Now, whether the resident is at home or in our center, accidents will happen. It's not if, it's when. It's when it will happen. Because, like it or not, if you have 20 residents, you're going to have 8 staff. If 9 people falls, Okay, you can only catch 8 and you still have 1 left behind. Okay, so things will happen, and then you start thinking, "Ayo, my staff fault, this one so stupid one, ayo, who to blame? I must try to find an excuse to explain." Don't have to. Don't have to. In my years, I learned one thing: honesty is really the best policy. I tell people this: okay, your parents, okay, may still have faults. It's not if, it's when, and when they do, it's not uh when they fall, and then they fall. But the most important, what do we as a center do when they fell? So it's our response time. I have many videos of residents falling, and I've seen it between 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute, or less than 2 minutes response time by the staff, the nurses, quickly take care of the person, check their vitals, make sure they're okay, and then they move on. So that is very important. So it's first is you have to create an environment. So what environment are you looking at? Okay, the staff will need one thing. The first thing, a safe environment for staff to perform. Okay, the staff needs a very safe environment to perform. They need the number one, you keep your place safe, follow the SOPs and all those things. But the other thing is the behavior of the management towards incidents are very important. Because how you react to a situation will dictate what the staff will tell you and what they won't tell you. Okay. Now, I have been doing this, and I always believe this, and I'm not a medical professional like I keep telling people, but the nurses, whether the seniors or juniors, I work well with them because number one, the first thing is I respect their expertise. Now, if they are caregivers, they could be just cleaners. I also respect their expertise. I respect them as a human being. So when you treat your staff as a human being do wonders, like a super being. So when you give them this first part, the safe environment is a respect that they know the management understand who knows the jobs. Okay, so don't go in there shouting and say, "Oh, whose fault is this?" Don't ask this question. The first question, should anything happen, is is everybody okay? You ask the staff, "Are you okay? Anybody hurt? Who is the residents hurt?" Now, this one was shown to me many years ago when I was working with Pizza Hut in UK. When they're in the management training, that is in the 90s, they said for them to get things done, never ever ask who did it, who was there, what happened. Those are secondary. The first thing first is everyone okay? Is everyone okay? Now I'm going to move to the second point. So after the first point that you ask everybody's okay, you respect them, you sort the whole thing out, you deal with the situation. The next thing very important is this: transparency with both staff and residents. I make it a point, okay? I make it a point that the staff that they have to be transparent with me. I told them, you don't have to be afraid. You just have to be transparent with me. Whatever you want to say, you say. Whatever you need to do, you do. I think there's a question. There's a question here. Live viewers comment. Okay, come this and okay. Is there a comment? No, no comment yet. Okay. So yeah. So transparency with both staff and residents. What do I mean by transparencies with both staff and residents? One, encourage staff to tell the truth by being us telling them the truth about what is happening. Now, sometimes details are very sketchy. There are too much details, but you just tell them the truth. Make sure that they know that they can trust you as a manager and as a boss. They people generally think bosses are liars, cheats, and then dishonest. Okay, because they are boss, they want to get the most out of you. That is a general perception. That's why we have trade unions. Okay, and you're talking to an ex-union member here many years ago. I was with the union in the 80s. So they will look at that, and that is very important. So transparency with the staff. Make sure that you are honest and encourage them to be honest. If someone falls, you ask, first thing is everybody okay? Have you done the vital signs? Do you think we need to be hospitalized? Okay, what do we need to do next? Okay, have you informed the family members? So those are the things. Then you ask them, you tell them straight, no, we are not here to punish you. Okay, we know accidents can happen. in anywhere. And okay, we are not here to make sure there's no accidents. I mean, the government has been doing everything to prevent accidents on the road. It's still having accidents all the time. So even every festive season, the statistics come out. So accidents will happen, not if but when. But be transparent and do not be afraid. Okay, as an owner, to be transparent with the family members. I always tell the family members, the moment your father or your mother comes in, they will become our father and mother, and you will become our brothers and sisters. As such, being our brothers and sisters, I will be truthful to you. I will tell you all the good and the bad. Okay, whether it's we are right or we are at fault, we are going to tell you the truth. We are going to be very transparent with you. Okay, and our procedures will be like this: that if anything happens, if your mom is sick, the first thing we do, we check the vitals. If we need to be hospitalized, okay, whatever happened, we will send to a hospital first. Then only we will contact you, because you are not a doctor, you're not there. We sort everything else, get some information, and then we inform you within a short period of time, so that you can come to the hospital. Or when they fall, this is what we do. So transparencies are very important. Once your staff sees that you are transparent with the client and not afraid, and that you, as a management and as a businessman, got the staff back, you got their, you protect them, okay, from being bullied, being hassled, okay, because all these frontliners, okay, whether they are nurses, doctors, in customer service, they are always being bullied by customer who think, oh, because we are customers, we pay money, customer is king. Nonsense. The customer has the right to be heard, but you're not king. Okay, and the staff also has rights. Okay, when you talk about human rights, it goes beyond just the right to read and breathe. The right to be heard goes both sides. Customers must be heard, so must the staff be heard. We cannot, just because we pay them money, we do not provide them with a safe place. So transparencies with both staff and residents, these are my secret, okay, of dealing with things. Now it's not easy, because there is this potential that by being honest with people, you may get into a legal tangle. But you have to be consistent. As long as you are consistent, people will know where to place you. Once they know where to place you, uh, so since they know where to place you, then they will look at it. Hey, okay. Oh, well, I have a friend, Joanne. She has been following me. Yeah. So, hi, Joanne. Joan, or sorry, and I've Andrew here. Yeah. Most important is that people knows where to place you. The residents, family members must know how to place you, and the staff must know where to place you. So your honesty and your position as a human being is very important and very key to managing a center. Okay, so I think that is something I want you all to be very, very clear about. So transparency with both staff and residents. Okay, this one is very important, and I encourage you to continue to do that. Okay. So by doing that, you will can manage with a peace of mind, knowing that if anything happens, your staff will tell the truth. Now, I believe my staff will tell the truth. Maybe not 100%, but I would say 95% of the time they will tell me the truth. Now, even the 5% they don't tell me, I can guess what they didn't tell me as well. Maybe they don't know how to tell me, or they actually don't trust me. So I can gauge my trust level by um, uh, I got this trust by looking at what they do and they don't do. So I consider this is very important. Huh? And the other thing is, I want to go back to the last point which I want to share with you. Okay, um, I want to talk about, once you have transparency has settled down, I want to talk about this very important, the well-being now. Okay, once you get all that foundations done, well-being here. Now, guiding philosophy. I have a simple guiding philosophy, because I am not medically trained. I've been working with people. Sometimes they talk to me in languages. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay, then of course, after some time, I understand. I'll ask myself this question: how can I make it understandable and simple for a layman who wants to come into this business, how to take care of people? So I want you to know the guiding principles, and I have a very simple guiding principle. So if someone walk in here and I talk about five things only. If someone come in a bed lying down, So the principle will be from bed, lying down to sitting up on the bed, then transfer the wheelchair. Then the next thing, the person to stand and then to walk. So there are five basic steps. The five basic steps. This is very simple philosophy. So what happened is there was this gentleman. His name is Bernard. Last year he was the first customer who joined us in one of the center I manage, and he came in very bad. He had a back operation on the spine. He fell down in the hospital in the toilet for 2 hours. Nobody knows. And discovered 2 hours later. He thought he would. The doctor told him it takes 6 months to walk. 6 months to walk. So I told him, you come in here, okay? And but generally, the guy is a happy guy, okay? 6 months to walk, he was lying down on the bed, can sit up a little bit, can walk, but very difficult, very difficult. So we told him that, okay, you can sit at this point. Your job is not to use the wheelchair, okay? So we will try to use as little wheelchair as possible. Okay, he wasn't lying down, so he was walking a wheelchair. We push him. We encourage him to learn how to transfer himself to the wheelchair. Then later on, he stands more often, and then we want him to walk as much. Within 3 weeks, this fella, 3 weeks, it was like a miracle. He was walking again. And the fourth week, he was dry. He went home one day with the wife and came back with his Porsche Cayenne. Okay, he was driving a big giant car, and we laugh about it. Hey, I said, I thought you got spine problem, leg problem. He said, I'm okay already. This place are very good, you know. So that little philosophy you do is very important. Philosophy, of course, is basically a study of logics. Okay, and so your logic behind everything that you do is must be simple, understandable, implementable, and workable. So I do this, and what happened to this is let me see. I think okay, there's no more questions coming in too. Fine. And there's another story I wanted to share with you. This guy, his name is Mr. Kong. He came in with one leg amputated. Okay, the right leg was amputated just before the knee, and this fella don't listen, you know. So I told him, hey, friend, you keep coming doing this, you will have your leg further amputated, which was true. Later, just within a few days, he was amputated after the knee. But I said, look, we said let's set certain goals. Okay, I asked him this question: do you want to live here forever or not in our place? He said, no. You want to go home. So okay, if you want to go home, I have this for you. Now you are from the bed, you can sit up, but you cannot go to the wheelchair on your own. So you must go to your be on your own. Now, of course, you are also there's a plan is to put on a prosthetic legs on your right leg. Okay, so this is our plan for you. We want you to have this within this. Doctor says 6 months. I say maybe 2 months you can do it, maybe even three. So that was in January this year, 2020. And he we keep working with him. We have pictures of him forcing him to and encouraging him to build the upper strength so he can transfer from the bed, sit up, transfer himself to the wheelchair, and from the wheelchair he can stand up and go for a shower. That was another approach. And then after that, you know, he can actually, with the help of a walker, he can walk with a walker with one leg. Now, because of the lockdown of the COVID-19 MCO, he cannot go and fix his prosthetic. In fact, he should be home this month, back in his own house and doing his own things, and probably driving with a adjusted car, you know. So philosophy in the home is very important. So how does it work? You have this philosophy. I told you the stories. So it's very simple. You just tell the staff, look, okay, this is your assigned client for residents. This is you are, you know, you're caring for this few. This person, auntie, is lying down on the bed. Do you think you can get her to sit up or not? What do you think? Let's give her 2 weeks and see you slowly sit her up. What do you think? Okay, yeah, yeah, okay. And the staff, and you don't force it. No, must sit up on the bed. No, you know. Let's see what we do, because we are not an Olympic training village. You know, none of them is going to come in there to our place and become an Olympian. But they can be better and they can go home. Now, so we encourage the staff to look at it. Okay, can sit up. Oh, once they can sit up, we tell them, hey, what do you think? And sometimes the staff are encouraged because your place, you are transparent. You set up a very safe environment to know that they can try things. Okay, and you will teach them things, of course. You cannot just let them go and do it kind of thing. No. Whatever I didn't say, it doesn't mean I didn't do it. Okay, just that it's 20 minutes. I want to talk about setting the environment. Okay, training is still very important. Very. So you set the environment for your staff to actually perform beyond, and staff likes that. Okay, that's why they stay with you, because there is, in this job, it's not boring. Okay, it's not just about carrying someone, washing the backside. It is about a self challenge that you can get the one you are caring for to sit up and walk to the wheelchair themselves, and then they stand and walk, and one day they actually go home. Now when I say go home, there are two ways of going home. One is actually to heaven, okay, whatever you believe maybe, and the other is actually going back to their own physical house. So I want you to understand and know this. So I today I'll share with you in this 20 minutes very important points, and I want to reiterate. And this is the one I want to keep sharing with you. The first thing is, okay, you have to look at the well-being of the staff and residents. Start with the staff first. Your staff can make a lot of change, wonderful things. Okay, start with the staff. Then you have create an environment for the well-being. So you must create an environment, what you want to do, and what is the environment you want? A safe environment for the staff to perform, knowing that you got their back. They can your besides the physical cleanliness and safety of the place, as a management and as an operator and as a professional in this industry, whether you are a supervisor, you got their back, and as long as they are honest with you, you know what to say. So, and the third thing is to talk about transparency with both staff and residents. Very transparent. There's no hiding. And then, because there's this old saying that to cover a lie, you need another lie. But when you're honest, you don't have to use another lie. You just deal with the consequences that comes. And generally, people are so far, very understanding, by being professional. And I've not come across any problems that when you are honest, okay, people can be still angry and scold us like crazy, lah. But after some time, they say thank you very much. People coming to say thank you for caring. Okay, I have someone who tells all my friends, "Hey, wow, Muntoh, your team are very good, lah." Tell my friend, "Oh, your friend, Muntoh, oh, his team are very good." So I heard it from a third party. So it could. And the last thing is building a philosophy. Everything begins with what is inside here, your philosophy, the logic inside here. You don't need to be um, covered with all kind of skills to start with, but you can start with all this, and you start with where you are and end up with all the skills that you need. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, okay, that's all I want to say. Today we talk about, of course, the well-being of staff and residents. This is the end of my 3-day short seminar, short course on Aged Care Business 101. And I hope when this you can still watch it again, and I will air you again all the 3 sessions all over again. So I hope this one will help you to have an understanding of where you're going, and maybe you will need any other help, just call me. I mean, my number is at the bottom. I think it's still there. My name is there. So with that, thank you very much. My name is Muntoh. You have a nice day and stay safe.